2, 1. Welcome back. Welcome back. Now, I know I've been missing for a little while, and I kind of came back with some other episodes doing everything, but I have a guest today, you all. I have a guest, and y'all know how I am about guests. Sometimes I like it, sometimes I don't, because chasing down guests is a job within itself. But I met this young lady. I met her, of course, through Toastmasters. First time I saw her name, I'm like, is that the lady that's a member of In Vogue? But as I learned, her name similar to that. Then her name is similar to Donna Ross's daughter as well. So today, I have the wonderful and incredible Toni Ellis. She is the author of Sacred Pathways, Biblical Principles and Practices to Conflict Resolution. Yeah, I got one of them Bible folks on here again. She is the CEO of Piece of Your Dream, a publishing company. Y'all know I've been trying to write a book, right? She works with children. She teaches those children how to public speak, how to get that Atlanta talk out of them, how to actually talk correctly. And she teaches confidence, how people can walk in a room. She does some stuff like I do. She is a graduate. Let me make sure I get it right. Atlanta Area Tech is what she said it was called then. I think that's Atlanta Tech now. Majored in electronic computer service, went back to DeVry and managed in business management. She is also a Division D director within Toastmasters, which is a very skilling job to do to be a director. She is a leader of the children in her church. She does the audio video stuff. I could use her on my podcast to show me how some of this stuff works and get it to work right. But I'm going to tell you how when I first met her, like I said, I saw her name on the program. I thought she was maybe someone else. But when I first met her, remember last year, I did a presentation at the District 14 Toastmasters Conference, and I was presenting on how to start your podcast. And I told you all how that failed miserably. Failure is not always failure. Sometimes you learn your lesson. So now I've learned my lesson. So it was very hot in that room. It was in April. And for some reason, they had the heat on. And this lady, she saw I was sweating because nothing was working with my presentation. She came up with this fan and was fanning me. I think I posted a picture of this on my Instagram. You see a woman with a fan. She came up and fanned me. Her hair was different then. She had some type of, what was it, the Bantu knots or something, whatever. Every time I see her, her hair is different. I have to ask, Toni, is that you? Because her hair is different every time I see her. But this has been just a wonderful, as I want to say, a budding business relationship. She is a jobpreneur, people. I mean, she still has a job, just over broke, like me. She has a just over broke, but she is an entrepreneur as well. So a jobpreneur. But she's just an amazing person. I've dealt with her a lot over this past year. I've learned so much about her. Just an amazing person. We have for you today, Toni Ellis. Welcome to the show.
Thank you. Thank you, Chetro. I am absolutely excited to be here on your podcast. And that intro, I need to write that down. That was just simply phenomenal. Thank you so much for having me.
I need to start charging people for writing their intros. That could be a service I offer.
Absolutely, yes.
I am just so glad to have you here today. We've been planning this since last year, really, since I was doing the presentation. And you said you want to start a podcast. I'm like, okay, we can do that. We can do that. And we've been so busy, but we're gonna make that happen. But I want to talk about your book, Sacred Pathways, Biblical Principles and Practices to Conflict Resolution. Now, this book you published this through your publishing company. Am I correct?
Absolutely. I sure did. I learned how to publish a book, and then I started a Piece of Your Dream LLC publishing company and published my own book. Yes. And I'm so excited. I love it.
So tell us what that journey is like. You basically, you had no idea how to do this or whatever. What inspired you to first write a book and then establish your own publishing company? How did that happen?
Chetro, I'm not even a book reader. I'm not an avid book reader. I'm really not. I was going through some personal challenges with a job, let me say. Yes, I was going through some personal challenges with work. And I just started journaling some things and just started writing some things down. And the Lord said, put that in a book. There are so many people who need to understand, know, and learn just simply how to deal with conflict. Conflict resolution is huge. And if you could just know how to understand and deal with conflict, the Lord said, put it in a book and let other people read kind of what you're going through a series of short stories and then biblical scriptures from the Bible to back up how you can handle that so it doesn't really resonate in your spirit. And that's what I did. I started writing out the book. It was actually our current PQD, Versandra Kennebrew DTM at Toastmasters, who gave us
I've heard of her.
Her journey, exactly. And she talked about when she first joined Toastmasters, she had only one book published. By the time she finished her speech, she told us that she had, I believe it was 5 or 7. For Sandra, if you're watching this, please charge it to my head, not to my heart. But she has at least 5 or 7 books published after she joined Toastmasters. That encouraged me to go ahead and do what the Lord had told me to do back in 2001. Publish the book, Toni. Publish your stories and do what the Lord told you to do way back in 2021. And then the person that I am, Roche, even something so simple as a cell phone, I was trying to figure out, how can I be my own cell phone company? That's how I think. How can I do this? Somebody is getting paid to do this. How can I have my own cell phone company? What do I need to do my own cell phone company? So as I was looking to get my book published, I said, how can I be a publisher? How can I do this for other people? And that's when I went through and did all the research and everything and went and published my book.
Okay, good deal. Good deal. So you're just saying that you dream it, you can do it, huh?
If you dream it, you can do it. Ask the Lord to help you, and He will put you in places that you never thought that you would be in. Like me right now on Roche Speaks, Roche Talks, Roche.
Hey, my name is Chetro. I'm going to cut that part out. Chetro.
Sorry. Chetro Speaks, Chetro Podcast, Chetro. I would have
what Chetro thinks about it, but
what Chetro thinks about it. I would not have dreamed that I would be sitting here on Chetro's podcast.
Well, I would have never dreamed last year presenting at the conference that I would actually be a presenter. When I first got in Toastmasters back in Mississippi, District 45, 44, one of them, they're going to get me because I forgot the district number. I went to the conference and I saw these people presenting. And I said, excuse me, I said, I could do that. And here, 12, 15 years later, I was actually presenting at the conference. And it was just so funny when you came there with that fan. Oh, my goodness, that fan. But even if it did fail the way I did, a lot of people said they got a lot of information from that. I held some follow-ups that I never imagined I would be there. And then I got some things coming up myself I never imagined. But, I realized at some point I did ask the Lord for this. And I tell people a lot of times, even though I'm surprised by this is what I asked God for. And now He's delivering. So I do understand that dream.
Yes. So Chetro, have you, and I know this is your podcast.
Go ahead.
But have you ever watched that movie? I think it's called, it just left me. But Jim Carrey is in the movie and God makes him Moses and he's supposed to build
Moses or Bruce. Is it Bruce Almighty or?
No, not Bruce
God?
Almighty. I that one too. Not Bruce Almighty, but he was supposed to be building he was building the ark in his front yard in the middle of their subdivision.
Well, no, that is Bruce Almighty, the one with Jim Carrey. Oh my goodness, I know what you mean, because it had Jennifer Aniston in it, right? She was his girlfriend.
No, you're thinking of something else.
Oh, we'll get it. It'll come to us.
Yeah, Bruce Almighty was he was a podcaster. I mean, he was a newscaster. Bruce Almighty.
Newscaster.
Right. But
I
the
think I
other
know what you're
one,
talking about.
the reason why I'm saying this is when you made your comment of you asked God for something and then he gave it to you. Sometimes you will ask God for something and he'll give it to you in a package that you're not ready for. He'll give it to you
Hey,
in a complete separate package. And in that movie, his wife, and it might not be Jim Carrey now that I think about it, but his wife said, I want my husband to spend more time with our boys. And they had 3 sons. And he
I do
told
remember that movie. Yeah, I
her
remember it.
husband to build the ark right over there. And he started sending the wood and sending the animals and sending everything. And the wife was like, oh, you're just crazy. I thought something is wrong with you. I'm leaving you and I'm going back to my mom. And when she stopped at the store, it was Morgan Freeman, because you know Morgan Freeman is God. But
Morgan Freeman is God.
Freeman is God. Morgan Freeman was a waiter at the restaurant and said, but didn't you ask God to have your husband spend more time with the boys? And she said, yes. He said, well, why are you taking the children? You can't spend more time with them if you can't. And that's when it clicked for her. Sometimes you ask God for something and he'll deliver it. He'll deliver your answer in a book by telling you to write a book. Sometimes he'll deliver your answer by telling you to start a podcast and invite this young lady who had no idea she would be on a podcast. Start a podcast so you can help other people as they move along.
Well, I've been, like you say, your thing about your book came to you in 2001. I want to say it was, excuse me, I don't remember what year I joined Toastmasters, but there's been a book in my mind ever since. And I've been like, you know what, I need to find a way to publish this. And so I guess by you having that fan that day, I get to meet you. So now I've got to put some stuff in action. I'm working with somebody else. We're trying to do some ebooks and stuff. I'm letting some stuff out of the bag before it gets there, but we're trying to learn how to do some ebooks. We're trying to do some stuff, but you're an actual publisher. And I've talked to some people in my club who have actually published books, and they keep telling, all you got to do is do it. And as much as I tell people, like, well, look, all you got to do is just take a step forward and do it. Nothing happens until you take that step forward. And I guess now I've moved half an inch. So you have other people you have published for as well? I know you're just starting out, but have you gotten other authors published also?
I am currently working on publishing. I have a young lady who earned her doctorate degree, and she wants to publish her thesis in a book. And I'm her dissertation. I'm sorry, I said thesis. Her dissertation, and I am in the process of publishing that for her. My pastor at True Life Ministries Inc. in East Point, Georgia, the Elder Gregory Hughes, he has written a book about prayer. And
shameless plug.
Shameless. Not shameless. It's not shameless. But
famous plug.
he has written a book and has asked me to publish that book for him. So I am in the process of publishing those two. I do have a few people who, I don't know where she's in Oakland, I think, but they wrote some children's books. Teachers, educators have written a children's book. And as soon as they complete writing that book, then I will help them get their book published as well.
Okay,
and
good deal.
As soon as you have your book written, I know you have it, but as soon as you have yours written, I will be helping you get your book published as well.
Yes, ma'am. I'm gonna hold you to that because I got to get out there. And one of the things we talked about is you want to start your podcast. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
I said I'm going to be your accountability partner. I'm going to make sure that you write it down because you're going to send me a chapter a day until you're finished.
Oh, wow. Okay. So that word accountability has been very present because I have another person like, yeah, I'm going to be accountable. You got to do this. So she had me to actually put like 2 things into an ebook. And I'm a person, I know how to cheat. Because I tell people, they'll ask like, what do I talk about on my podcast? Or what do you do? Or how do you come up with topics for your podcast? And very simple for me is usually when I'm out feeding the hungry, well, I used to feed the hungry, I'll be thinking about something. And that's my slogan, stuff in my mind that forms into words and then actually comes out of my mouth. So they help me accountable. Like, you got to write this ebook or whatever. So what I did is I took a speech I gave in Toastmasters, two speeches, edited them, whatever, and submitted to her, like, okay, here's my ebook. And she's reading it and she read like, this is so wonderful. I said, well, I just did what I do with my podcast. When I can't come up with a topic, I think of what speech I gave in Toastmasters a few weeks ago, and there's my topic. Or if I can't write a speech for when I got to speak in the club, you know what? I spoke on this last week on the podcast. Boom, there's a speech right there. So there might be the book, and there may be everything, whatever. But yeah, so they're one of my accountability partners. So they have this thing called Action Group or whatever. I'm saying, like, I got to gather a group of people to be my action group, my advisors and mentors and things of that nature. You know, you may be on that board, so look for that invitation.
So I have a personal board of directors, literally with
Wow
10 people who hold me accountable for certain aspects within my life. And everybody should have that personal board of directors. It doesn't necessarily have to be 10 people. It could just be 5. It can be 3. It can be however many you want. It needs to be more than 1 though. But you need that personal board of directors to help keep you accountable for certain areas
I like that.
of life. So I have an
I like
accountability on my board of my personal. It's called a personal board of directors, and in my personal board of directors, I have a temper. Believe it or not, I can.
Not you.
Yes. And what they hold me accountable for, they send me inspirational sayings every single morning. So I can read those. And as I go throughout my day, all this foolishness, I can squash it because I've read that morning, that affirmation that morning, and I'm good to go. And I just hold that in when somebody comes with any type of foolishness that normally I may have responded in a negative way. I can just stop, breathe, remember what was sent, and keep it moving. It's just something that's
Okay. So you have some mustard seed faith there, I see.
oh, absolutely.
So tell me, on this journey of becoming a jobpreneur, you know, while you still had that just over broke that job, how has your faith been a major influence on you on becoming this person that you are now?
My faith, the Lord, just my relationship with God has grown tremendously. Actually, since I joined True Life Ministries almost 8 to 10 years ago, I was attending another church, but it was more doing stuff, getting stuff done, working on stuff. When I joined True Life, our pastor actually teaches about the Word of God, Jesus's ministry, period. No commentaries, nothing else. If it's not in the Word of God, it just can't simply happen. And there's a scripture, Philippians 4:13. I can do all things through Christ who strengthens me. So anything that comes my way, that's what I remember. God is the one that's strengthening me, not you, Chetro, not that person, and not that person, and not that person, and not that person, not even my personal board of directors. At the end of the day, if there's something that needs to be done, you have to have faith in the Lord who is strengthening you every single day. Whatever comes your way, if the Lord, sometimes the Lord will send it. It's not always, well, Satan did this and the devil did this. It's not always the devil. It's not always Satan. Sometimes God is saying, I'm going to put this in front of you because I just want to see how you're going to handle it. And I want to make sure that you know and understand I am the one that's strengthening you every single day. That is how my faith You have to have faith in the Lord. If you don't have faith in the Lord and you start having, people will let you down at a moment's notice.
Hello. Amen. I'm sorry. I wasn't supposed to interrupt you there, but Lord, you said something there. People will let you down,
They
not
will.
even at a moment's notice,
Exactly.
especially with podcast.
Exactly.
When I talk to other podcasts, I'm like, what is the most strenuous thing besides editing? And they're like, making sure a guest actually show you'll go through the process or whatever. You have everything set up, and then you are ready to record. And crickets, they don't show. They haven't called to say, "Hey, I can't make it," whatever. And then 3 days later, they're like, "Hey, hi," like nothing ever happened. You're like,
What happened to you?
"What?
Right.
What happened?"
Exactly. Exactly. Exactly.
Yeah, that's kind of why I'm skeptical when I go out for a guest. But when I actually get someone and they respond in the positive, I'm like, oh yes, let me grab her. Got to have faith. Was it George Michael? Got to have faith.
That's right. Yeah, I like that song too. Yep, you gotta
Okay.
have faith.
All right. So another thing you do, and we're going to segue more to the book also as well. You work with children, teaching children how to speak publicly. That's probably why you have to change your hair every time you see me, because you got to pull your hair out. You have to deal with them. But how is that? You're the youth director at your church, and I remember my youth director from my days as a youth. I actually was on the youth advisory board or something at my church I used to be at in Mississippi.
Mhm.
Children, how do you do it?
You have to first of all, you have to trust God, and God has to be the one that that calls you to that type of ministry to deal with children, period, and to work with children. If you don't have the Lord backing you, it'll never work out for a long period of time. Let me say it that way. Children are so innocent. It's not really, when you work with children, if you can just always remember whatever they say, whatever they do, that is a learned behavior. They learned that from some adult somewhere. And if you can just remember that that's what they learned, then as you're teaching them, you can try to shift their thought process into what they really should be doing to make them productive citizens. That's my underlying, I guess, thought process as I work with the children. God first, God called, and then children, whatever they do, it is a learned behavior, and they can
Hmm.
learn another way. But I love the children that we work with at my church, actually. Let me just say this. We meet with the children every single Saturday. Shameless plug again. Every single Saturday from 9:15 to 12 noon. Every
AM?
Saturday, 9:15 a.m. And let me tell you,
Eastern Standard Time.
Eastern Standard Time at 3492 Washington Road, East Point, Georgia, 30344 at True Life Ministry Incorporated. Let me tell you why. From 9:15 to 9:45, we feed them breakfast. My cousin, Chef Dana Ellis, my cousin is an executive chef, and he cooks breakfast every single morning for the children. He is not a member of the church. He gets up every single Saturday morning. The food needs to be there by 8:45. The committee shows up at 9 a.m. and then the children show up at 9:15. And you see this time frame? Structure. Complete structure. 8:45, food shows up. 9 o'clock, the committee is there. 9:15, the children begin to trickle on in. But from 9:15 to 9:45 is breakfast. Breakfast is shut down, and it's a hot breakfast. He fixed scrambled eggs, grits.
Hmm.
Sometimes he has shrimp and grits. Sometimes he has sausage or bacon or fish. Sometimes we always has the standard in the breakfast is fruit, juice, and biscuits. He always has homemade biscuits too, not that Pillsbury stuff you pop out of a can. And
Do you have to be a youth to come? Can a 51-year-old, I used to be a teenager.
so
You
any
know,
youth are more than welcome to come. And yes, if you're an adult and you would like to eat food, yes, you can come too. We have
oh, I
plenty of
love to
food
eat.
for everyone.
I love to eat. Oh, I
We,
love to
we
eat.
have we have plenty of food for everyone. And he cooks the breakfast. Once they come in, every third Sunday at the church, the children host the entire worship service. They open up in prayer. They read the Old Testament scripture, New Testament scripture. We have a True Life Ministries covenant that's read. The children, it's a responsive reading. The children do the responsive reading. And let me tell you something else, Chetro. The children deliver little mini sermonettes. Each one of them will read their own little message. And that's
I
how,
remember third Sunday is Youth Sunday, back where I'm from very rural Philadelphia, Mississippi.
yeah.
Third Sunday was Youth Sunday. You're black and white. You either sung in the choir. I had to sing in the choir, usher. I was on the junior deacon board because, look, I'm going to say it like this. A lot of people in my family had a drug problem,
Mm-hmm.
which meant anytime the doors of the church were open, I got drugged to church. Not just by my mama, my daddy, with my grandparents, my uncles, aunties. I got drugged to church. So they had drug problems.
Mm-hmm.
And my dad was superintendent of Sunday school, and that meant we were involved in everything. We were the first family there, and we were the last family to leave. I am the only 6-year-old to have my own set of keys to the church. So I understand, but the youth and that third Sunday, oh my goodness, that was just, whew, that's why I don't have any hair now. Go ahead. I'm rude. I'm going to interrupt, but go ahead.
That's why I have to change my hairstyle every. That's why I change my. That's why I have to change my hairstyle every time you see me.
I get into so much trouble talking about women's hair because I'll be like, wait a minute, didn't you have that? And I understand that it is a black woman's perspective to change. Look, I've been around black women all my life. I understand. However, don't be mad at me if I forget your name because I probably memorized you by the hair on your head. So
Exactly. No, I totally understand. I could literally show you multiple pictures where I had hair this short, that short, this long, straight, curly, and even the style, we just gonna roll with it, right? Because it's just braids, right? So even the style I have now, it can look completely different if I just take it down and do it this way. It can still look completely different if I decide that I just want to pull it up, and I'm still gonna look like a different person. And let me tell you something, Shayro. If I take my glasses off, then I'll look like a completely different person altogether with no glasses on, glasses or no glasses. So
yeah, you do. Yeah, I'm going to have to put this video out to see the hair changes you just did.
Oh, absolutely. That is the beauty of a black woman's hair. That is the beauty of black women, period, is that we can change at a moment's notice. We can change and still look like a completely different person. Our spirit on the inside is exactly the same.
And some change their whole entire attitude according to what hair they have on that day.
That is true. That is true. I can go get my girlfriend in there and put on my look. I can go put on my girlfriend. I meant hair. I can go put on my girlfriend and look completely different with the wig and everything, and it'll be short on top of these braids, and you'll never know the difference.
Never know. All right, right here, I'm going to insert a commercial because I'm going to make this is where I'm going to do cuts at right here. So we're going to do silence for about 10 seconds. Okay, so we're still here with the incredible Toni Ellis, which I think we ended on like the different things with hair and a different different woman every day with different hair. You fill a lot of roles on a lot of positions. It's one like, how did you have time? Me being the child of not only active mother in church, but active father in church and had so many roles. How do you find time for yourself with all of these roles that you have? Toastmasters, church, Jobpreneur, publisher, author, speaker, all of these things. How do you find time for self?
That is myself. That is So when you love what you do, it's not really a job or work. It's you're doing you. I do me. And I get a lot of joy from one working with the children. I love to see a little shy little girl who holds her head down when she walks in, and she doesn't really want to mingle with the other children because she's just a little bit shy. She just, again, learn behavior. Doesn't want to jump in there. To becoming that young lady or that little girl in just a couple of weeks or a couple of months, and the one who says, "Can I do it? I want to read it. I want to stand in front of the congregation and do my speech. Can I get one? When am I going to get another speech? Can I pray? I want to be the one to pray. Can I do this? Can I that brings me so much joy in my spirit, in everything. After we get off this, I like serene and serenity. I will literally, might be TMI for a podcast, but I will literally retire to my bathtub and soak and just meditate on not just the word of God, not just how God has brought me through this entire day, but everything that happened on this podcast. I am so giddy on the inside. You can't tell it with me speaking on this podcast because I know we talked about setting me up with my podcast almost a whole year ago. And here we are full circle. We talked about me being a guest on your podcast, and here we are a year later, full circle. That is nobody but the Lord. That is God making things happen. Something that you said at the very beginning of this podcast. If you ask God for something, He will give it to you, but might give it to you in a package you're not ready to receive.
I like that. Package you're not ready to receive it in. So let's talk about the package of the book. Give us, the insights. Make everybody go out there and want to buy your book, and tell us where they can find it. But tell us about the book. What's in it?
So what's in the book? It's a very small book. It's an easy read, as you can see. It's only 46 pages. 46 little small pages. And what I did in the book, I changed the names, but the essence of every story in this book, I actually went through. I start off by telling you first what conflict is. A lot of times people think that they're in conflict with someone else, when really it's just a misunderstanding. You don't understand even what a conflict really is. It's a misunderstanding. I thought when you said this, I thought this is what it meant. My definition of the word that you use is a completely different definition of the word that I use. You and I talked about this off camera when you read a rule in the contest book for Toastmasters. You read it differently than how it was intended to be implemented. And then once somebody brought it to your attention, you thought, oh, okay, I understand now. But you were open to receive that information versus holding it in and letting someone else think that, they can't talk to Chetro because Chetro don't want to listen. I'm trying to tell him this is wrong. That's no. It's just a misunderstanding. And then I go into the biblical approach to conflict resolution. And I use, I'm not going to go through the whole thing, but I use biblical references to back up how you really should resolve your conflict. Once the conflict is resolved, you got to forgive. And I hear people say all the time, oh, I'm going to forgive, but I ain't going to forget. Oh, I forgave him, but I ain't going to forget. Oh, I forgave you. And you talk about what you forgave, which is great. but then you bring it back up later. Did you really forgive? If you bring it back up, did you actually did you really forgive, or are you harboring those feelings on the inside? Now
True.
let's clear. You can forgive. You can forget what actually happened, what actually occurred that caused the conflict that is now resolved. But it also doesn't mean that when you deal with that person or those people or in that arena, that is going to go back to normal. It may not go back to normal. It may not go, your relationship may not go back to how it was before the conflict. That doesn't necessarily mean that you didn't forgive. It You can still forgive, but now you may have to shift on how you deal in that arena in the future. These are kind of some of the items that I go through in the actual book. And then how do you deal with people who just don't even want to talk to you? They're just difficult people. How do you deal with difficult people? There are just some people who they're not going to
You're
talk.
better off not dealing with them.
It's not about, they're still people. They're still human beings. They may be difficult, but they're in an arena where you are required to work with them. You can't just dismiss them. You can't just
Why
not.
not? I'm allergic to people. Why can't I just dismiss them?
No, you cannot just dismiss people. You have to work with people. But some people who are difficult, maybe you got to pull somebody else in. And I don't know if you can see the hotness coming in, so I got to get my fan going. But
There's that fan.
here's the fan. This is what the fan is for, ladies and gentlemen.
There's that.
It's male and female. This is what the fan is for. But
Oh my goodness! And it puts some good air out. Because I tell you, when you had that fan on me, I was sweaty, and I'm like, "Oh, that fan feels so good." I'm gonna have to find a picture on social media where you're with the fan, and I'll have to post that with this episode.
And I was saying, you took a picture of that. Who took the picture?
Somebody, I had some media people out there as well.
Oh, yeah.
That's why my club is so wonderful. A lot of them were in the audience, so they took pictures, and we are a wonderful picture club. So somebody took the picture and they sent it to me, and so I posted it to Instagram back then. But I have it somewhere now. It's on my feed. I'm going to have to go and put that picture in there because your hair was totally different.
It was.
That day.
It was. It was definitely totally different. Yes, it was. Because I just got it the other day. But I'm going to go back to dealing with difficult people. In the book, I have Romans 12 and 18. If it is possible, as far as it depends on you, live at peace with everyone. That's what you have to remember when you're dealing with difficult people. Again, even with difficult people, that is learned behavior. Everything is learned behavior. And people can unlearn, relearn, and figure out how to do things differently. I don't care how old they are. You can relearn something and do it differently. And you have to seek wise counsel, right? Proverbs 15:22, without wise counsel, plans fail. But with many advisors, they succeed. Don't stop trying to do things by yourself. You can't do it alone all the time. You have to, when you start reaching out to other people and you bring other people into whatever it is that you may be doing, they'll give you different perspectives on how to make things work for you, maybe in a different way. And then you cannot forget about the power of prayer. The best.
Go on, bring it home there. Bring it home there, Reverend.
God didn't call me for that. But you can't forget the power of prayer. You have to pray and you have to ask God to direct you. And then when God directs you, you got to walk in that direction. You got to go wherever he's telling you to go. You have to go because at the end of the day, it is God who strengthens us on a daily basis.
Amen. Wow, I like that. So basically, what you're saying is, if I have a problem with somebody, I can't just go cuss them out like the way I want to and call them all the different things I want to. I need to seek some prayer and learn how to walk around that person, right?
No, I don't want to say learn how to walk around that person, bro. Seeking prayer, yes. But walking around them, don't walk around them. You continue to do what God calls you to do. You continue to do the
Okay.
things, whatever God told you to do, you continue to do those things, whatever that is.
Okay.
But if that person that you really want to cuss out, trust me, I know a lot of them. But that person who you feel like in your heart and your spirit, I just want to cuss them out. Roche, I'm gonna say to you, Shayro. Shayro, I'm gonna say to you, that's learned behavior for you too. That's learned behavior. You can learn how to say it a different way and not use all those extra words that you want to use.
Now my audience know, but they know I like to use those extra words. But
I
I've control. I've controlled myself on a lot of different things. And when you talked about like when people say, "Oh, would you not listen?" or whatever, a lot of people have labeled me that way when I'm passionate about something. Like, you don't listen about it. I listen to people all the time. I'm just going to be questioning while we're going through. And when you learn communication, they tell you don't always this, don't say this, but I have to get an understanding. All I get and get an understanding. So I have to get a full understanding. And the way I get it is not the way other people. So I listen to people. But I tell people I just may not be listening to you because you may have said something wrong. But I've had to learn sometimes, like even when I'm listening and you just want to say something like, but like, you know what, just let them finish because people get in that mood. Let me finish. So I'm learning a different learned behavior that curse out behavior. I don't know where I got that from because my parents would beat me now at 51 years old. They knew some of the stuff I said to some people and the way I've said it. But I'm learning to deal with some people different ways. And as you learn, like how people learn, how they do, then some people are just like, let me just walk away. On some clients are like, you know what, you can have your money back. If this is what I have to deal with, you can have your money back. Knowing good and
No,
well, I needed that money.
no. Now I'm gonna give you a suggestion because I know
Yes,
exactly
ma'am.
what you're saying when you say people think that you're dismissive or people think that you're not listening, especially when you're passionate with something. Because I get that exact same thing. Hence the reason why I wrote the book.
I
And
love these shameless plugs, but that is the reason for the interview, for your
it
book.
it is the reason why I wrote the book. Because again, it's a misunderstanding. People learn differently. And if
Mhm.
someone is just constantly talking to you and just speaking to you and trying to tell you what it is that they want you to know, see, or do, if it's not resonating with you on what your next step needs to be, you'll have to ask more questions. And sometimes it's the people who are trying to explain to you what you're supposed to do. They have no idea what they're asking you to do. So
Hey, man.
when you start asking more questions, they get offended really because they don't know how to answer your question. That's where the problem comes in. But it's not really on you, it's on them. It's not you. Don't give them the money back. You just keep asking your questions and you keep getting what you need to get and know that you
I
just got
agree with that.
paid.
So, with the publishing company, what I'm trying to ask. So, do you have a certain genre that you would publish? Is there certain things you will publish, won't publish? You being quote unquote a Christian business owner yourself, is there certain stories you're looking for per se to publish? What exactly does someone need to work with you to have you as your publisher?
I will not, I will pretty much publish. My goal as a publisher is to help get the information out there. One of my favorite people in the world, actually, I love to listen to. I don't know him personally, but I love to listen to him is Dave Chappelle. Now, if you hear Dave Chappelle, you listen to his what he has to say. Let me tell you why I like Dave Chappelle. Because it's for the arts. Dave Chappelle is for the art of comedy. Dave Chappelle is for the art of free speech and getting your information out there. Now, I do have morals for myself. I will not publish any type of pornographic material. I will not publish anything to be that's going to be negative to a child. I will not publish. Okay. I will give that work for somebody else to do. I will not do anything like that. I will respect the arts, as Dave Chappelle always talks about. He defends the art of comedy. He defends the art of an artist drawing. You told me about an artist who drew at the Atlanta airport and one of the concourses. It's the art.
Corey Barksdale.
So
yes,
it's the art. Corey can draw whatever he wants to draw. If he draws something he wants me to publish it, I'm going to publish that for Corey. Except if Corey decides to draw something molesting a child or something in that nature.
Corey does very good work. He does very good work. He's very professional. And he is published now.
Yes, but as an artist, I'm saying I will publish. I will support the arts. That's my goal, is to support the arts.
Yeah, and when you listen to Dave Chappelle, you take out, I know he's going to use some colorful language or whatever, but he gets his point across. He's a very smart individual. Him as well as Chris Rock. I like how even though they're doing a comedy set, they're going to teach you something and you're going to learn something. Chris Rock, he talked about being wealthy versus being rich. And the example he used was Shaq is rich. Shaquille O'Neal. This was before Shaq had all his companies. This is when I guess he was still playing basketball.
Right.
The man who pays Shaq is wealthy.
Exactly.
So we got to get, this mindset between wealthy, rich, or I'm flossing in front. Is that what the young kids use now? I'm flossing in front of everybody, flashing, whatever word they use. You deal with the kids. So, you got a lot of people that are rich on Instagram, but broke in real life.
Exactly.
That's why I don't flash dollars on Instagram, because I'm broke in both. But there's a lot of things out there. I want to say I've really enjoyed this. I'm glad we finally got a chance to collaborate. There's so much more we got to do or we have to do. You are a very, very interesting person. You're very funny, too. I like that. And I'm so glad you're one of my guests that actually showed up. Did this, but so glad to have you on here. So if there's another soul, so Toastmasters is going to be on me because I said so a few times. But
I'm counting them. I was going to give you your grammarian report after the
my account.
Yes.
Okay. If how do people reach out to you? That's going to be my main thing. Give us your Instagram or Facebook or Smoke Signal. How can they reach you?
They can reach me. I am not on Instagram. I'm not. That's why I was asking you.
Yet.
That's
we're
where
gonna work on that.
I'm not on there yet. If you need to reach out to me, I have a phone, and it is real simple. 404-559 Toni.
Wait, some of that cut off. If you want to get do you want the phone number published?
It can be published. I'm fine. I'm okay with that.
Okay.
That's my
get a phone number again.
404-559 Toni, TONI. And that translates to 8664 as numbers.
Look at you, got your name and a phone number. Look at you go.
Absolutely.
8664. Is that right?
664. And the name.
Next you're gonna have 1-800-TONI.
Not 1-800, no. 404-559 Toni. And A Piece of Your Dream LLC is the name of my company. The mailing address is 5829 Campbellton Road,
Wait,
Southwest.
wait. I'm typing it as you write it. I know I can type, go back when I listen to it and edit, but give me that address one more time.
5829 Campbellton Road, Southwest. We're at Suite 104-222.
104222. That's all one number, right?
104, and then put the little hyphen 222.
Okay.
That's in South Fulton, Georgia, 30331.
I'm down there a lot.
331.
Yeah, when I did the contest, I went through South Fulton past, wasn't it Rick Ross's house?
Yes, yes. It used to be
The promised land.
It used to be Evander Holyfield's house. Evander.
It is. I was just down there this week because I took somebody, you know, when I do divine deliverance of the people. But yeah, when I came down to your, I guess some clubs in your area, and I guess it's when they had the speech-a-thon. I was the Toastmaster today for them. And when we did the contest, it was virtual. But I remember passing the Promised Land on the way down there. And then I kept getting rides going by the Promised Land where it's lit up at night. Oh, my goodness.
Yes.
I'm like, that is something.
Yes. He has a lot. He does a lot with property, a lot more. Rick Ross does a lot more with the property than Evander Holyfield did when he owned the property.
He's doing it. All right, to make sure I got all this right, I got you at 404-559-TONY, 8664, A Piece of Your Dream, LLC. Is that a Facebook page as well?
I do not have a Facebook page yet. That's coming.
Oh, we're going to have to work on a lot of stuff.
I have an email.
Okay. Give us the email.
APOYD. The letter
APOYD.
D
Okay.
Dream. At Gmail.
Wait, say that one more time.
APOYD.
Mm-hmm.
At gmail.com.
Okay. All right. Good deal. Good deal. I don't know why. I know why. I'm typing on the wrong keyboard. That's why. APOYD at gmail.com. I like that. Okay. So closing remarks, that young person out there that they want to have a piece of the dream as well. Give us quick advice of how someone could get started doing what you do, one of the many hats that you have that you do. If they want to be a publisher, they want to be a writer, they want to ghostwrite. What's your piece of advice to someone out there that wants to be like Toni?
Nike already said it. Just do it. Just do it. Whatever. Don't be scared. Just do it. And if you need that accountability partner, I will be your accountability partner. Call me. I will be your accountability partner. But at the end of the day, just do it. Figure out what you want to do. Not what I want to do for you, but what you want to do. You have to know what you want to do. And once you figure out what you want to do, go do it. And bring somebody else along the way. You got to go back and help somebody else. You can't do it. Preach it.
All right. This has been fun.
It has. And Chetro, one thing that we did not talk about, but if you're going to publish this on social media, because I know they're going to be on social media, I have to give a shout out to my son, Jay, and my grandsons with an S on the end, Malachi and Caden, and then my great grandson, Midas. I have to give them a shout out and say, hey guys, how are you?
You know what? I'm going to start doing that. Is anybody you want to give a shout out to when I have guests? I'm still recording, so I can put that in.
Okay.
But sometimes when I edit, I'll leave this part in where I say I'm going to edit it out. I'll leave it in sometimes. So yeah, I can leave that in with the shout outs. Okay. So you have a son, 2 grandsons, and a great grandson.
And a great grandson.
All
My
that
great
at 25. Look at you, girl.
all of that at what? Yes, that age. What you just said. We're gonna go with that.
Look, that is so amazing. I know they are so proud of you. I'm proud of you. The fact that I met you, and it's amazing how God brings the right people at the right time. And
Exactly.
I'm the one. When you say like when you hold somebody accountable, I'm the one that messes up a lot of stuff. Because I think what was it? Yeah, this time last year, God put me basically partnership, or just the fact of being elbowing with a great person. I'm not going to totally mention them on here, as well as then when the conference came around, we had things. So I had a good friendship, and I think I messed some things up. So God will put some things in front of you, and it's not that the devil did anything. We try to blame the thing. It's me, Lord. I messed up. I did it. So I need to learn. It wasn't really a conflict, but I need to learn how to mend some things with some things and get back in that grace, because I think God got some good things for me coming. I just got to put myself to be ready.
You need to resolve your conflict.
Sacred pathways, biblical principles, and practices to conflict resolution. Awesome book. Thank you again for being my guest, being a wonderful person. Just thank you for the opportunities you have given me. Things you have helped me with have helped me in some other things that's to come. I can't really say totally now what that is, but I asked God for something, and it looks like God is going to give it to me. So,
That's right. Thanks
all
for
right.
having me. This was wonderful. I'm excited. Thank you so much.
All right. Okay. And cut. We're still recording, but just a
You
little
are
time.
recording?
That was it. It's still recording. I can stop it though.
Huh?
I can stop it. One guest I had.
Because I want to talk. So this was my inspiration too. My auntie, she wrote a
You
book
said
years ago.
you said stop it.
No, I'm just telling. I mean, I don't care.
Oh,
I'm
okay.
just saying that this was my
Okay.
inspiration. Also, my auntie wrote a book. Linda Sheffield. She's my
Oh,
aunt. She don't live there. A quick and easy way to improve your grammar. And she wrote this book back in I want to say it was back in the 80s. Yeah, March 1998, 98. March 1998, and then she revised it and published it again in 2000. But she wrote this book, and this is her. Can you see her?
oh, okay.
Yeah, this is my aunt, my mom's sister. She's 70, 75 years old.
Wow.
75. But she wrote this book because she worked for a temp agency. And back during that time, they needed people at the front desk. But the front desk person needed to be able to type and then also welcome in guests and those kinds of things. And she was interviewing for that front desk position. The people would come in and they could type 80 and 90 words a minute, but couldn't speak worth anything. So she said, there's no way I can't put you at the front desk and you saying, hey, what your name is. I can't put you at the front desk in that way because your grammar is just it's not correct. And she was filling positions for Fortune 500 companies. Wasn't going to work out that way. But they did qualify because they could type the letters and they knew how to write correct English, but they couldn't speak it. She wrote the book. She wrote down those people's names who she could not hire because of their grammar. She wrote the book and she sent them a copy. Back then it's not email. She had to stick it in the mailbox. Put a stamp on it and mail it. But she mailed a copy free to each one of those individual people so they could learn grammar and hopefully land a job that complemented their typing skills that they had. That was another inspiration for me to write my book. And that it's to help people. I love helping people.
Yeah, that's kind of my thing. I love helping people. That's why I'm out there trying to do some things with some people. I just thought about I did not do screenshots while we were actually talking
Oh,
because sometimes it's hard to multitask, but I am going to try to do one now. Let's
you want me
see.
to do something specific? Like,
Let me make sure I saved this first one I did. I did save it. Okay.
okay.
Let me know when you're ready, and I'll say it.
I'm
Ready,
ready. You want me?
smile. Yeah, right there. So let me click. Okay, I got that one. Let me save it. Da 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 Chetro.
And did you want me to? You want to do the hair thing? Like, what's the clips for? As you bring in the opening.
I'm learning how to do clips. I haven't done it, but like I have the pictures. I can post those to Instagram.
Mm-hmm.
What did I do with the first one I did? I want to say I saved it under your name,
You
RST.
did. You put it. You gave
There it
me a
is, Roche.
picture. You put a picture on my name.
Okay. Let's see. Give this one a different name, number 2. Or put an A there. Okay, got that one. Let's do one more. You said you want to do one with your hair different? Go ahead.
No, I was saying, did you want to do that? Did you want to? Because you were taking snapshots, so I didn't know if you wanted to. I didn't know what you was doing with the snapshots. Like, were you showing? Like, we have a little segment in there where we talk about, a black woman's hair and how it can change quickly and all that
You
kind of
can do
stuff.
that.
I was
Let's
wondering.
do this one, and then we'll do it without the glasses because you did say something about the glasses. So I might post like the Instagram or some of that different pictures, like when I say I have my guest. Where did my snapshot go? Okay, so let's do this one. All right, one. Well, got a little glare there. Hold on, let me save this one.
Let me back up a little bit. I think.
I got to learn how to do Canva.
There you go.
One of my members is trying to teach me how to do it, or she gave me the stuff like that. Just go out there and learn it. I'm like, okay, whatever. RS. B. Okay, let's get one without the glasses since you did.
Wait, let me make sure.
Be like, that's the same person.
Same person.
Okay.
But you need. Hold on.
Right there.
Oh, leave like this.
I got it now.
Oh, I was gonna say you need one like without the glasses, and then
With that, okay. Let me say this one, then we can do that.
because then this looks like a completely, this could be like a completely different person.
Maybe one day I'll do an episode on black women's hair.
Yeah.
Be like, yeah, this is the same person. B, C. All right, let me know. You ready? Oh, sorry. Forgive me, Lord. You were covered on my screen. Then when I came back, that's where I was like, okay, wait, what? Okay, ready?
Yeah.
All right, I got that one. We're always training. Like at all the TLI meetings, you're like, okay, everybody smile, take a picture. So I was in some meeting the other day, and someone was like, well, how do you do that? I'm like, you just do a screenshot. They're like, that's it? Yeah, that's all it is. Just do a screenshot.
On my
Or
Zoom,
if you got Snap.
yeah, on my Zoom, I got like you could take a picture. It's a camera. You just click the camera and it takes the picture.
Yeah, you might can do that with here on this. I use it's the thing I use at work. What is this called? This is called snipping tool. That's what I've been using.
Oh, yeah. Mm-hmm. So I need to download Riverside.
You can use that. It's good for doing webinars too as well. Now they have a free version, whatever. Then they do have a paid per month version. I got to get the per month because you can. this thing you can do like the different audio. So like each of us is a track of audio. So with the after your trial subscription, when you do the paid one, you're able to do different things with the different tracks. But when I download it and convert the audio, I'm going to download the entire track, and then I'm able to transfer it over to Audacity, and that's what I do my editing in is Audacity. But once I learn how to edit video and stuff like that, I'm going to post some things to YouTube, which I'll probably end up posting this because I like how you did the hair things, and you kept showing like pictures of your book. So to get that out there, I may put this on YouTube eventually. I just have to learn that process to learn behavior.
My book was on Amazon.
I'll put it in the show notes. So send that to me, like how to get it from Amazon. Okay. And I'll put it in the show notes. And when I post it like Instagram and stuff, I'll put this. So it's probably going to be at least 2, maybe 3 weeks before this episode is actually published. I plan to take some time this week to edit the audio. But like I said, I need to record another one because I haven't had an episode out there since June. So what I'm going to do is, that was season 2. My goal is always to do like 20 episodes. I think I only did like 10 or 15 for season 2. I'm going to end season 2, and we're going to start with season 3. So this will probably be either the second or third episode of my season 3. Okay. But I will let you know when it's out there, and I'll send you the links. You can send all your friends, everything. Give me some listeners and subscribers.
Absolutely.
But you know, that's how it all works. It's all about, you know, when you say everything is not about money, but even if I don't make money for this, or like when Forrest Tuff and Richard Harden speaks at the conference, Richard would tell you, look, I don't get paid for that. But anytime I go to a conference and I speak, I walk out with either 10, 15 different contacts of people that I can get and do business with. And they're like, we want you to come speak at our program. We want you to do this. I'll make money from not making money. Exactly. So you get your followers. We got to get you an Instagram for one. That's just the thing. And then probably get you a TikTok.
Oh, I don't know about that. But I know. I'm going to do all of that. I'll do it. I'm not a social media. I don't even use Facebook. The only reason why I get on Facebook.
But you do it for the church.
That's the only reason why I do Facebook, because I do it for the church. And
then then you're going to do it for yourself.
Stuff, and then, yeah, I'll do one for a piece of your dream. I'll put that out there, because then I'll offer that to people when I publish their book. And then because I was going to, offer, I'll get you a sign. Piece of your dream, welcome, Sacred Pathways, or whatever. So,
yeah. Hey, that's creative stuff, because people don't know how you do that. But like I say, my friend that does sublimation, I got the little pole here that can hold it and everything. I just got to get it to her. I was trying to get it in the shot, but something down here got it stuck. But this is actually,
you're trying to get like a banner,
a background or something. So what this is what used to hold a banner for our club. We got a different stand. And we were trying to make space. And I'm like, so what are we going to do with that? And I'm like, you want it? I'm like, yes, I can do something with that. So this is what used to hold a banner for Toastmasters.
Oh, I can't see what you
mean. And I can't. It's something's wrong. I can't.
But what I'm saying is, hold on, I'm going to show you something. Okay, I'm going to run and get something. I'm going to show it to you. Hold on.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, are you there?
Yeah. I'm going to stop the recording, okay?
Okay.